Hello everybody, my name is Blue and welcome to a rather educational video for the first time on my channel. In this video, I will be teaching you how to train zombies like a pro. Okay, that sounds cringe, I know, it sounds dumb, but with Blackout 6 coming out and them wanting to kind of cater to new people with Liberty Falls, I thought that I would make this video because people are making Easter egg guides and the best loadouts and the best gobblegums and all that crap, but they're not really touching on the bare basics of zombies if you're going to become a really good zombies player. And training is one of those key elements that to get to high rounds, you got to know how to train and not just run around the map and kill zombies. That's not what I mean by training. That is one form of it, although in Black Ops 6 I did test it and it doesn't work very well. But let me stop rambling. Let me get to the facts. Okay, so there's three distinct, I would call, modes of training that you can do. But before I get to those, I'm going to touch base on things that you shouldn't do while training, and it's just a few quick points. Point number one: do not mantle when training. So Black Ops 6 brought back mantling in zombies, which it was in Cold War. I think it was in Modern Warfare Zombies. I don't know. I didn't play it because it just looked like hot garbage.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But mantling is back in zombies, and while it is useful in certain scenarios, such as if you're in a place with a mantle, you can mantle to get out of a corner. If you're stuck in a corner, that's great. But while you're training, try to avoid areas with lots of mantle places. First of all, it slows you down and allows the zombies to get a hit on you if they're right behind you. And second of all, it just throws off your whole momentum because you have to stop and climb on top of something and then continue running again. So mantling, although it can be useful in certain scenarios, with training, it's not. It does more damage than it does helping you. Moving on to point number two, try to avoid areas with choke points. Now, what I mean by choke point is any area that is just big enough for you to fit through, because that leaves you no room to maneuver if a zombie were to spawn in front of you or throw you off and come from a different direction. If you're in a tight space, you have nowhere to go and you're just gonna end up getting sandwiched between the unexpected zombie and the train that you have going, and that can be a real run killer if you're going for high rounds or just to beat an Easter egg and you're training to get points to unlock a door or pack a punch or something like that. Try to avoid choke points as much as you can. Now, there are certain areas where a choke point can be helpful with training to kind of narrow your herd of zombies down into like a single file or a two file line to line up headshots better. But in most scenarios, you want to avoid these choke points because they're just gonna end up killing you. The third point that I have: don't run around the map to train zombies. I don't know what they did with Black Ops 6 zombies, but you can. I remember in Black Ops 3, you used to be able to run around the map and the zombies would follow you and they wouldn't spawn in front of you, and the respawn rates weren't as consistent as they are now in Black Ops 6. If you do try to train running around the map, you're just gonna get too far ahead of the zombies and they're gonna respawn, and they're gonna respawn in front of you and it's gonna throw you off, and when you turn around to lay into your horde, there's not gonna be anyone there, or any zombies there, I should say. So training around the map is a no-go in Black Ops 6. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't try it. I mean, you can try it. You're just gonna waste time. But those are the three main things that I would say don't do. There are some smaller things, but most people, I would say, don't do them. Now, going into the three basic training methods. The first one is just a classic train. You know, you pick an area of a map, you pick an area where there's something in the middle to run a circle around. You just sit in that area, train them around that obstacle so that you can keep distance from them while also maintaining your horde. And once you gathered enough zombies, you turn around, lay into them, reload, restock on ammo, do what you need to do, and repeat when the round ends. This is a tried and true method. It's a method that works a lot. It works well. With Black Ops 6, it does get a little tricky because the zombies can mantle as well. So if there's an obstacle in the middle, they'll probably just try to jump on it and jump over it. I've used it in Black Ops 6 and it works pretty well. I'd say 90% of the time the zombies just follow you around the obstacle instead of jumping up on it. Method number 2 is what I like to call herding. This is where instead of picking an obstacle to run a circle around, you kind of act like a sheepdog, strafing and moving back and forth between 2 points to keep the zombies in a group of where you are, or just choosing the zombies as an obstacle to run a circle around. And of course, it's not going to be a perfect circle because zombies are spawning in. You got to move around the zombies. If you get too close to the zombies, they're going to hit you. So it's more of like a obtuse or ellipsed circle. I mean, it's a circle, no less, but it's a weird shaped circle. Option 2 is probably my favorite. The herding method is probably my favorite just because it keeps the zombies in a group. It keeps them all together, close bundle, and it makes headshots super easy, as you can see in this clip here. I just unload into them, get a whole bunch of headshots, and then reload and continue herding as new zombies spawn in. The third method that I would say is a classic training method is the leading method. This one does include, I know I said to avoid choke points. This one does include a choke point, but it's not that bad of a choke point. I'll highlight on like an overview of the Liberty Falls map. I'll highlight some choke points that are pretty good to use because you have space to maneuver, but there's very few. Liberty Falls, they made very weird to train in. As you can see in the video here, I'm training in front of the bank, between the bank and the bowling alley. That's the best place that I've found to use all 3 methods, because you've got the 2 cars right out front of the bowling alley that you can use the classic training method on. You've got just that big open area between the 2 cars and the single car in front of the bank where you can use the herding method, as you saw in the clip when I was talking about the herding method. And then you've also got that bus where you can use the leading method, although that bus has gotten me in trouble many times and I've had to use my ether shroud to get out of it. Thank goodness they brought back the specialist stuff from Cold War. But with the leading method, you want to get your group together either using the herding method or the classic training method, and then you just lead them down through that choke point, turn around, and as they condense into like that single or double file line, you just unload into them, get a whole bunch of headshots that are all lined up. They're all pretty good. In Black Ops 6, I did notice that the zombies kind of duck and dodge as they're shooting at them. So some potential headshot kills could turn into just normal zombie kills, which a kill is a kill unless you're going for camos. Then it can get annoying. But if you just aim for the head, aim a little bit above the head, and just keep on unloading into them, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. So with training, there are a few things you want to do as well. I would say when you get hit, if you get hit, no, not if, when you're gonna get hit when you're training, whether it's from a zombie in your horde that you are building, or it's a zombie that's just spawning in, or it's a mangler or an abomination now that they have in Black Ops 6, which after round 25 they spawn way too many of. But you're gonna get hit while training, and it's gonna happen. Don't get discouraged. Don't think, oh well, I'm doing something wrong. You're not. Like, there's no way to avoid getting hit. The best zombies players have put hundreds and maybe even thousands of hours into playing zombies, so their training is just muscle memory for them. So if you watch someone like Noah J456 or Mr. Raffle Waffles or Lex, Mr. T Lexify, and you watch them and they're training zombies and they don't ever get hit, that's because they pretty much, zombies is their life. I mean, they are so unbelievably amazing at what they do because they've done it for a very long time, an extended period of time. So don't get discouraged if you get hit, and also don't panic, because I've played with people where they're training zombies and they get hit, and I just see them start panicking and they run into a wall, or they try to like slide to get away from them faster and end up running into the obstacle that they're training around or something like that, and they go down. And it's crucial to not panic when you get hit, because you're gonna get hit. Now, if you get cornered, if a zombie spawns in front of you and blocks your path and you get cornered and sandwiched, that's different, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna die in that scenario. But don't get discouraged, because that happens to the best of us. Also, try not to jump right into training. If you've never played zombies before, definitely don't. Just get a feel for the game, get a feel for the map, the mechanics, the way that you move, the way that you run, the way that you look around. Make sure that your settings, your sensitivity, your dead zones, all of that are set up to where you like them, and just get a feel for the game. If you've played zombies before, if you're confident in your ability to get the high rounds and you just haven't ever really tried training, if you just like camped before, if you found a good spot to camp but you want to try training for the first time, definitely get a feel for the map first. Play the map, play through the map. Don't just sit in one spot. Run around the map, learn the map. Find a place that you feel comfortable to try to start training in. I know with Black Ops 6, another thing I was going to say was try to pick an area with not a lot of spawns so that you're not flooded with zombies spawning in as you're trying to train. But with Black Ops 6, they made that next to impossible because there's about 6 or 7 spawn points in every frickin' area. So you're really out of luck there with starting to train and picking an area. But just pick an area that's open, that has plenty of room for you to maneuver in case an unexpected zombie pops up, or an abomination or mangler or whatever they throw at you. Pick a place that you're confident that you'll have enough room to get out of a sticky situation if you get into one. Back to what I was saying about learning the map and everything. The bowling alley is a pretty good spot in on the bowling lanes. I know you're not supposed to cross the foul line, but everyone's zombies now, so I'm pretty sure no one's gonna yell at you for it. Like I said, between the bowling alley and the bank up in the graveyard next to the church, I would say between the bank and the flower shop might be a good spot as well. But really, it just depends on the area that you feel most comfortable in. I know I like training in the spawn as well. That's a big open area. There are a few cars that you have to watch out for mantling with, but there's the dark ether trap that you can classic train around and just maneuver around that. And another thing too that I want to talk about is timing. So with training, you have to time obviously when you're going to go, when you're going to sprint, when you're going to slide, everything like that, to avoid colliding with zombies, colliding with your herd that you have gathered, and also to avoid those new zombies spawning in that haven't yet grouped in with your horde. So it's really, it takes a lot of time to get the timing down right. So don't get discouraged. It's going to take a while for you to understand when to go, when not to go, when to turn around, when to change direction, or when to just hit fire and blow through 2 or 3 zombies that are coming directly at you. So timing is also important in training, and it takes a while for you to really understand and grasp it. So if you're just new to it, if you're just starting out, don't get discouraged, because eventually you're gonna get to the point where it's just like Mr. T-Luxify or Mr. Raffle Waffles or Noah J. You're gonna get to the point where it's muscle memory for you, where you're doing it without even thinking about it, and you're looking for your next kill. So just timing. That's the last thing that I want to say. I think that's everything. If you guys want to see more educational videos like this, let me know in the comments. Leave a like on the video. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to. It's free, helps you, helps me. It would help you even more if you would ring the bell next to it as well to get notifications of whenever I post. And keep an eye out for more zombies videos, because I am planning on making more, learning how to create classes to help you get more salvage and gobblegum combinations and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye bye.